everyone, and welcome back. This is your retired happy friend in Mississippi. I'm Carolyn, and I'm so glad you came back today. Thank you for all of your lovely, wonderful comments about missing my video on Wednesday. I didn't think anybody cared or would notice, so thank you for letting me know that you did notice. And the whole YouTube channel thing is new to me, and I'm still learning, and it's been a wonderful blessing and a wonderful experience. So thank you for your comments. And welcome back today. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you what I'm going to have for lunch today, and lunch is really stretching my food budget dollars. Some of it is going to be a little bit of leftovers from a couple of other meals, and then my ham that I bought for the month of July, that a small ham steak. You know how it is cooking for one. It's sometimes a little bit hard, and you need a lot of food, but I'll show you my lunch today, and I'm going to share with you my favorite dessert this summer, and I hope you have guessed what it is. It's my it's very similar to my favorite candy in the fall, when fall comes, and for some reason I just always associate this candy with fall. So I'm not going to give it away yet. I want you to watch and see if you have guessed what it is, but I love it, and I hope you try it if you haven't. Some of you may already have tried it and know exactly what I'm talking about. So after lunch, I'm going to take you on a tour of my working studio, which is a very small studio, but I'm going to share with you some of my whips, my work in progress that I've finished, and then share with you some of my ongoing projects that are still in the works. So I'm not going to be actually making anything today, but just sharing what is going on. So let me know if you have made any of these, if you like any of these, if you have any suggestions for some other projects going on, because we have to have something to do that keeps us interested, keeps us busy, keeps us active, looking forward to getting back to it, and just something that gives us joy and pleasure and a sense of fulfillment in this retired life. So my thankful for today is thankful for all of you and that I'm feeling better. And my good word for today, and you'll understand this a little bit more on in the video when I share it with you. Let me get my glasses. Okay, but I share this a little bit later. This is what I use in one of the projects that I have. This is a bookmark, and you'll understand when you watch all the way to the end. This is Philippians 4:7. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Now, I'm sure you have heard that before, and I'm sure you have been through many trials and hard times when you had a peace that you just can't explain any other way than it comes through Christ Jesus. So there you go, and I hope you enjoy this. Let me know in the comments, and please come back again. It's going to be late this afternoon when Maisie goes for a walk, if she gets one very far. It's going to be a quick one. It's just too hot. Thank you. So it's summertime, and today is going to be probably the hottest day we've had so far. They're predicting 99, but they feel like for 110 or 15. So this is my lunch today. And it's a good summer vegetable lunch. These are my green beans that I got out of my little garden out in my backyard, which you'll laugh at this, but my little garden is one row of green beans that I planted along my flower bed. I have my tomato. While my green beans were cooking, I peeled and diced up a potato in it, cooked it. Have my cornbread that I made a couple of days ago to go with another meal. So this is stretching my budget, stretching my meals. I already had the green beans cooked. I added the potatoes to it. I already had the cornbread cooked. And the tomato is the last slice of the tomato from the BLT sandwich. So now that's the last of my tomato. My ham, if you remember, I got the ham steak when I went to the grocery store at the end of June for July. So this is my ham steak. I'm going to use the rest of the ham steak in my summer pasta salad. So after I eat lunch, I'm going to show you what my new favorite dessert is for this summer and see if any of you have guessed what it is. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. So now my lunch is finished. Everything was very, very good. If you haven't tried your green beans, cook them down Southern style and then add a potato in it, kind of chopped up. Put that with your cornbread and it's really, really good. Okay, now I'm going to see if you can figure out what my new favorite dessert is. And it reminds me of my favorite fall candy. So here we go. First of all, I'm going to add vanilla ice cream. And you know by now my favorite vanilla ice cream is Bluebell homemade vanilla. So I have a good scoop of vanilla ice cream. And this is an antique ice cream scooper. My mother and daddy had this, and I inherited after we were cleaning out their house. Of course, my mom and dad are long gone, so when I found this ice cream scoop, I got it. And it's perfect for scooping out. Okay, I have my ice cream in my bowl. Now the next thing I'm going to add is my favorite peanut butter, 100% peanuts. This is Crazy Richard's peanuts. Let me find the ingredients so I won't misquote it, but it's no sugar and no salt, and it's about the only peanut butter I have found that is no sugar and no salt. And of course the oil separates, so I keep it in the refrigerator, and when I use it, I stir it up from the bottom, and I'm constantly remixing the oil with the ground peanuts. And right now it's staying pretty well mixed. Occasionally it will get thick on the bottom, and that's just because the peanut solids have settled to the bottom, and I have to mix the oil back up in it. So there we have ice cream and peanut butter. And if I didn't do anything else other than this, if you've never tried peanut butter and ice cream together, you've got to try this. It is just heavenly to me because I like it. Okay, now let's see if you have figured it out. So this is really good, just to stop right here. But to finish it off, we have peanut butter ice cream. And now I'm going to add the finishing touch, which is Hershey's chocolate syrup. So I just drizzle that across the top. And now we have peanut butter and chocolate syrup. And I don't really like to mix it. I like to leave my chocolate separate on there. So now it's time to eat. Now you know what it is, don't you? My favorite fall candy, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And this always just reminds me of fall. Someone's guessed candy corn, and I do like candy corn in the fall. That's the only time I ever eat candy corn. But in the fall, when my children were little in school, we always packed their lunch and they took their lunch to school. And it was always a sandwich, some kind of fruit, and something kind of sweet. And Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is what we always got in the fall. So I hope you enjoy this. If you've never tried this combination, it makes a fabulous summer dessert. Now lunch is over and you found out what my most favorite dessert is this summer. So I'm wondering how many of you guessed it before I actually told you what it was. But that really is. I enjoy that every day now. I'll get burned out and tired of it eventually, but right now that's my favorite summertime dessert. So now I'm going to share with you all of my whips, my works in progress that I have finished, and then I can move on to some new ones. So of course you saw on the last week my pillowcases. So I did the tutorial and the video on how to make the simple burrito pillowcase, and this is a little fall design, has the band at the top. So in case you missed that, go back to last week and check out the video on making the simple pillowcase. So I have those two finished and I just love them. They're so cute. And I have finished my quilted heart cards. So a lot of them, I'll show you the pictures at the end of the block of fabric before I cut the hearts out, and then after I cut them out. And I think I have a picture of them with the embellishments before I put them on the card. So now I have them on the card, and this is the card that I drew up and made. This is cardstock paper. I get that at Office Depot, and it's an abstract watercolor painting that I just wanted something abstract, and so that's what I came up with. And then on the front I printed that out with my computer, a quilted heart, handmade just for you. And then I get 2 cards per sheet of paper. So when it prints out, it's like that. And then I have a paper cutter that I cut it in half. So I also printed out on my computer a little information to go on the back of the card. Now, if you don't want everybody to know who it comes from, don't do that. But I did it because I'm giving them to people I know, and these are not just anonymous gifts. So I put my name and my email address on the back of it. The inside is blank, and on the inside is where I put the quilted heart. And every single one of them is different. There are never any 2 exactly alike. And I use ribbon that I have accumulated just over time, embellishments, ribbon, lace. I've used rickrack. And as far as the cards, the hearts, the little doodads that I put on there, I pick those up wherever I go. Now, I used to get a lot of them at Joann's. I think I found those at Michael's. They were a lot of them in a package, and they have the white and the blue. And this one, it's the only one I have used that type of little feathery ribbon on, but I really liked that, and I think that came out really cute. So there's the front, and there's the inside. This one, I used some kind of glittery rickrack and some lace, and then this is the last one. So later on this week, these note cards will be on my Etsy shop with my Cooking with Maggie cookbook, my Maggie's Neighborhood children's book, the Christmas in Maggie's Neighborhood, and then Pass the Pickles Please, which is a little book for manners for preschoolers, and it just covers the basic manners to teach children in preschool. Please, thank you, no thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. So those are the basics to start off with. Okay, so that project is finished. This one, not this week, but I have finished. This is the soap bag, the crocheted soap bag. There was a video on this little gift bag a little while back. I had the crocheted, this is the gift bag that's big enough for a bottle of lotion or shampoo or a body wash. And it can also hold a lot of other things. Like this one would be great to go to a nursing home and put a little pack of Kleenex in there, or maybe some emery boards or whatever the people in the nursing home might like, and have a little bag to keep it in. So I finished my coasters. This is the round coaster. This is one of the granny square coasters, and I have 4 of the same color in a pack. And to package these, to get them ready to gift, I have a piece of cardboard that I have cut the same size as the coaster. And I put that on the back of the coasters, put a little ribbon around it, and then it's ready to go in the gift bag. And these are all made out of cotton yarn. So I like the cotton yarn rather than the acrylic for the coasters because it's more absorbent, and the acrylic just kind of sits there and will stay soggy. So I like that. So I have my grippers finished. I have more grippers in my stash that I'm getting ready to make a few more grippers. And when I start out making the grippers, this is the shelf lining paper that you can get just about anywhere. Walmart, I think maybe even Dollar Tree has it, but it's a non-grip shelf liner. And then you just take your scrap fabric and sew it on. Refer back to the video that we did on that. That doesn't have any batting in it, so it's not quilted. It's just to get a grip on for a jar opener. And another gripper. So I have the little babies. I had one video that I showed how I make the little outfits for the little dolls, and these are the little Dollar Tree dolls. So I have a good many of these finished. I'm ready to bag those up. So these are all finished. Now to put these in, to get ready to donate them, which I'm going to put them in our blessing box at church, and also to some of the police officers, to the police department, so they can hand them out if they run into a crisis situation with a child. Let me find my bag. But it's good for them to have something to give to a child. You never know what kind of situation a policeman is going to find a child in that they need to give them something right then to help comfort them. So I put the little babies. This is the Kroger gallon size storage bag. It's not a Ziploc bag. It's just a gallon storage bag. So I have these Bibles that I ordered from christianbooks.com, and I was able to get these. This is a New Testament, and I was able to get them for, last time I ordered they were $1.25 each, and so that's a really good price for a New Testament. So I put this in for the adult. I put in a bookmark, and I like to use the Lord's Prayer, but I have a lot of bookmarks. These come in a package of 12 per pack, and I think usually these are $1.25 for a pack. So that's a really good price. So this one is Philippians 4:7, and the peace of God which passes all understanding shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. So I take the bookmark, I put it in the Bible. Usually I like to stick it in on John 3:16 because that's my favorite Bible verse. I think that's the message, the gospel message in one verse, John 3:16. So I put that in the back of the bag. I put the baby in the front of the bag. And I have, where did they go? Oh, here they are. So I have these little baby bottles. So I got these little baby bottles. They are baby shower favors that I found those at Hobby Lobby. So I stick a baby bottle in there so the child can take care of their baby. And then I got these little brochures to put in there for the child. Most of all, Jesus loves you. And it goes through, I really like this little pamphlet. It goes through, always remember, Mommy loves you, Daddy loves you, your brothers love you, your sisters love you, your grandma loves you, your grandpa loves you, your aunts and uncles love you, and your cousins love you, and your friends love you. But most of all, Jesus loves you. Isn't that sweet? So on the back of it, it has, do you know Jesus? He is God's Son who lives in heaven. If you would like to ask Jesus to live in your heart and be your Savior, say this prayer. And that's the little prayer. So I stick that in this bag with the baby and the baby bottle. And so that's for the child. And then the New Testament and the bookmark is for the mommy or the daddy or whoever the adult is in the situation. So I take that little kit, the Bible's on the back, the baby, the bottle, and the brochure are on the front. Wrap it up, take some yarn, and tie around the top of it and seal it so it stays clean. So that's that little project. So that's where all of these babies in this basket are ready to go off on their mission into the world. They have a pretty big mission in the world. So say a prayer. I always do. We pray over them. When I was in our sewing group, we always pray over our donations that they will go to just the right place, to just the right person who needs it, and God will take care of it and get it where it's supposed to go. We don't have to worry about it. Okay. Another project that I have finished are the gift bags. Now this one is a little bit different. These are the brown produce bags that I get at the produce market. So they put my produce in there. They don't want me just carrying it up there in my hand. So I put my tomatoes in one, put my squash in one, put my okra in one, onion, you get the idea. So instead of throwing away my produce bags, I fold them down flat, stack them up, and I repurpose them into gift bags. So this one is watercolor, and I used a little bit of the iridescent watercolor on it. Can you see the iridescent? Okay, so that's watercolor. Now when I get ready to give it, I'll open it, put the gift in there, fold the top down. Sometimes if it's too tall, I won't fold the top down, but punch 2 holes with my hole puncher, put some pretty ribbon in it, tie a bow, and it's ready to give as a gift and repurpose it. On the bottom, when I get through with whatever, and you don't have to be, you don't have to be a professional to do this or an artist. I play with it. This is fun. This is just creative. It is just using my imagination. Sometimes I like to have a picture to go by, and I like to look at the flowers when I'm out walking and see the detail on the flowers. So hopefully I can come back and reproduce it in something that looks like a flower, a real flower. So anyway, when I get through with it, I like to put my initial at the bottom, and then somewhere on it put John 3:16. I hope my glasses aren't glaring too bad. Maybe I need to pull my glasses off. So that's the watercolor. Now I also got my acrylic paint out, and I tried, this is acrylic paint. And I've tried acrylic painting, I've tried oil painting, and I do like acrylic. I don't like oil. at all. So I put the oil up. I gave it to one of my friends who likes oil paint. But some of you may be familiar with Donna Dewberry one-stroke painting. That is one of my goals for this summer while it's too hot to get outside and go anywhere. I want to follow some of her tutorials because I cannot master her one-stroke painting to save my life. So that's why I went to watercolor. But she does beautiful artwork. So you can look on YouTube, Donna Dewberry one-stroke painting. And I would just love to be able to paint like she does. So this is acrylic, and I put my initials in John 3:16. And this is another watercolor, and I took a picture of some of my flowers out in the backyard and tried to duplicate my flowers and put some mushrooms on the bottom. So this one again is watercolor. And I showed you on my other video where I showed actually painting some of the bags. I've gotten some stamps, and I got those. I got some at Michael's and I got some at Hobby Lobby. And I like to use the stamp and my stamp pad. And the stamp, I have 6 different sayings on the stamps. Happy birthday, congratulations, thinking of you, this one is just for you. And then I bought another pack that are Christmas sayings, jingle bells, ho ho ho, and I'll use those when I get a little bit closer to Christmas. So since I don't buy as many vegetables and produce in the fall and winter as I do in the summer, I've got to save up my brown bags and then not use all of them for summer and fall. I love fall. I love painting fall leaves, and I love painting pumpkins, but I've got to save some for Christmas, and because I'll be giving a lot more just happies and neighbor and friend gifts during Christmas. So this is the fall one. I showed you that one when I was doing the video. And this is the first one that I did with the watercolor. And I have already given a couple of those out. I had some gifts I had to give. So that's another whip finished. But I will start some others. So that is finished for the meantime. And now I think that's all of the projects I had to show you that I have finished. And I'm going to bag these up. The babies are finished. I have to bag those up. Now, as far as the work in progress that I have, still working in progress. This, I showed you the yarn that I got at Hobby Lobby just because I thought it was so pretty. And this is the Sugar Wheel Cotton yarn bee. And I just love the colors in that. So what I decided to do, I'm going to make a lapkin. I had to go ahead and get started on it because I wanted to see how the colors were going to work out and do. So this is what the pattern I have decided to do. It's going to be just a little small, lightweight summer lapkin. And you can see where the color changed on that row. So that's my ongoing, one of my ongoing projects that I have, because when I sit down in the evening and watch the news, or maybe when I'm sitting there watching a YouTube channel of, there are several people that I follow on YouTube, and I can crochet while I'm watching that. So I have my pattern written out. So that's my pattern on my lapkin. Now this is another project that I have ongoing, and this is a different type yarn. And it comes on a big spool like that. And it is Crafter's Secret Cotton from Hobby Lobby. And the color of it is ivory. So what I'm doing with that, one of the YouTube creators that I like to follow is Vera on, I believe the whole name of her channel is Vera's Slow Living, Vera's Slow Living Vlog, I think. But she showed what she does, and she has them on for sale on her Etsy shop. But she takes a ball, and then this is just a long crocheted chain. And she takes the crochet, she shows how to do it on her videos, so I'm not giving away her secret, I don't think, I hope not. But she takes this long chain and then she wraps it, I'm using a tennis ball because that's what I have, and then she wraps this crocheted chain all around the ball. And I think I have my crocheted chain long enough to start gluing it around my ball. But I just think it makes the prettiest finished ball if you can use your imagination and imagine what that's going to look like when it's finished. So go to her Etsy shop. I'm sure she would love for you to visit and look at it. She does some of them in the solid ivory. She does some where she has like an ivory row and a black row, an ivory row and a black row, and then some where it's ivory and brown, or brown and ivory. But I think she uses twine instead of this cotton. But I found this cotton at Hobby Lobby and I thought I would like to get that and make one of her balls, because she has them in a basket, about 4 or 5 different balls with made out of this twine. And check out her blog. It's Vera's, I believe it's Vera's Slow Living Blog. She's in Canada. She lives in Vancouver, Canada, and I watch her a lot. I really like her channel. So when I get this finished and get all of this is a long string, but after I get this all wrapped around this tennis ball and get that cut off, then this is my project. These are coasters that I have made out of this twine. And it's different from the cotton yarn. So I really like the little coasters. I like them this size, and I like them out of this yarn. And again, that's the Crafter's Secret Cotton. And the cost of it was $2.99. I thought that was a really good price. And then I got it while they have their yarn on sale. And it is made with U.S. fiber. It's a U.S. made product. So I love to have a coaster on my dresser, on my end tables, beside my sofa. So, because I have to have a glass of water, and especially in this weather that we're having right now, it's going to be probably 99 or 100 today with a heat index of 110. So we have got to stay hydrated, y'all. Drink your water. Drink lots of water. And then the other thing I'm going to do, I made this pot holder on another project, and to me it's too big. I love the colors, I love the pot holder, but I'm going to make another one, and I'm going to make them this size rather than this size. So that's a work in progress. Can you tell I like to have something different to work on? And I like to not just stay with the same thing, but I won't say I get bored easily, but I like to have a challenge. I like to have something to look forward to that's different. and a new beginning, not just doing the same thing over and over again. So even if I've never done it before, like the watercolor or acrylic, I've gotten so many messages from people who are saying they're wanting to take up sewing again or try watercolor or acrylic. And that's what keeps our mind active and healthy and young, is keeping our mind busy. Now this is the last one. This is my other work I have in progress. And this is the Hobby Lobby yarn. This is going to be a blanket. And I'm using this yarn and the solid pink together. And I forgot what I originally got that yarn for. I got it for some project, but I don't remember what right at the moment. But when I was working on it, I said that would be so pretty to go. This is the sample baby quilt that I made for y'all to show you the simple beginner's baby quilt. And there is a video on that. And this is the baby quilt. This is the pillowcase, again, the burrito pillowcase that matches that quilt. I have it folded in half, so it is bigger than that. But it is small size. This is not a standard size pillowcase. So I had this yarn out, and I said that would be so pretty with this baby quilt. So now what I'm doing is using this yarn to finish up to make a little blanket to go with the quilt. Isn't that cute? So I have the pillowcase, the quilt, and the yarn, the little Afghan, all that matches. I think that's just darling. I don't know who I'm going to give it to yet. I don't have anybody in mind. I haven't had any granddaughters. I have had a lot of grandsons lately. Well, great-grandsons. My grandchildren are all grown, having babies now, so these are great-grandchildren coming up. So that was the baby quilt that I made, and I think some of you may remember this was the actual tutorial that I did. This is the baby pillowcase that's using the burrito pattern, and this is the baby quilt that we actually made on the video. So I said after I got through with the pink blanket, which is going to take me a little while, there's no rush on that, so it's going to take me a while on that, but after I get the pink one made, I would like to do the same thing and make a little yellow Afghan to go with this one. This one doesn't have anybody in mind to give it to either, because that was the demonstration baby quilt. So that's my finished whips, my whips in progress, and that's what I'm working on. So I hope you enjoyed that little tour on what I do to keep my mind and my thoughts and my creative process going and active, and keep something that I enjoy, that gives me a lot of joy and satisfaction out of life. And I enjoy giving. I just make all of this to keep me busy and to give me something to do, and then I find somewhere to donate it or to give it to somebody else, so my house doesn't get overrun with projects just sitting there. I hope that makes sense. So, okay, thank you for your visit today. I'm going to move the Wednesday video to Thursday, and that will give me an extra day in there to work on the Thursday projects and the Thursday videos. So next week it will be, I'm planning on, God willing and the creek don't rise. I had a comment that they had heard a family member say that before, but it's a good old saying. God willing will be Monday and Thursday rather than Monday and Wednesday. We have Bible study in our community on Wednesday afternoons, so that takes out a little bit of time on my Wednesday afternoon. So I hope you enjoyed that little tour through my work studio and my craft studio and what I do to keep me going, and share with me please in the comments on what works you have in progress and what you're working on and gives you joy. And I hope you get some ideas from what I've done that you can change or you can adapt to what you like to do. And then you know, no ideas are original. Solomon once said, "There's nothing new under the sun." So we get ideas from each other. We can modify it. We can make this idea a little bit different and come up with something entirely new and share with each other what we're doing. So until next time, I'm going to take Maisie for a walk this afternoon. It's going to be late because we got to wait for it to get cool enough for her little pawpaws to be on the pavement outside. So I will see you then. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for spending some of your time with me. And please sure and share your smile with everyone you see. Somebody that you may meet that you don't even know what's going on, maybe where I was last week. And y'all, I have still not heard from my doctor on the results of my test. I called again today. My CT test I had was a week ago yesterday. And anyway, I'm not dying, I guess, or they would have let me know. So until next time, thank you, friends. Bye-bye. It is too hot to be out here, isn't it, Maisie? Oh my goodness. My goodness. Come on, let's go home. See, we've been walking around the parking lot. We've seen everything there is to see. Maisie saw 2 squirrels. Look, even the poor little flowers are wilting. It's so hot. So come on, Maisie, let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go get in the air conditioning and get cool. Come on.